What's up, people? It's your boy Jatois. I'm here today in Avorion. And Avorion is a game set in space, as you can see here. And it is all about adventure. This game is quite similar to Elite Dangerous, and it is a game that I find myself spending a lot of time within. It has that feeling of one more turn, except for it's not turn-based, which is pretty awesome. So what is the actual goal of this game? The actual goal of this game is to make it all the way to the center and to get Avorion. There is a barrier around the core that you have to find your way through. Some questions I have received about this game is there co-op? Is there PvE? Is there PvP? The answer to that is all yes. There is co-op, there is PvP, there is PvE. If your server is set to allow player versus player damage, then you can actually have combat against other players. Mine currently is not set to have player versus player combat, so it is strictly a PvE server. Speaking more on servers, there are dedicated servers, there is single player LAN games you can do if you want, but yes, this does include dedicated servers, which is what I'm playing on right now. This is my server on my extra computer I have here, so I have full control over it, which is awesome that they included that dedicated server from the get-go, because this is a game that you want to play with your friends. So some of the features of this game, let's quickly go over some of the things you'll spend a lot of time doing, is building your craft. Now, to build your craft, you're going to need resources. In order to get those resources, you're going to have to mine. So here is a node in this game. I just click on it so I can target it. I bring up my mining lasers, and we're just going to go over and we're going to mine this node here. This is your component of mining in the game. You are gathering these resources, and this is what I spend a lot of my time doing, is hunting down these resources. You can buy resources from different factions in the game, but I find it to be kind of cathartic to roam around and find the resources on my own. Because once you have them, then you can go into your build, and you can design your craft any which way you want. There is no limitation on how you can design your craft. And this, you can lead to some fantastic designs. Mine's built similar to Elite Dangerous, since it is one of my other games that I enjoy. It is still not finished, and you can see here, it is made out of different ores. The white ones are titanium, green is naonite, and there are some iron blocks still in here somewhere. To build your craft, you just go here, you go to whatever material you want, and from here you can actually start to build your craft up, which you have several options. Not every ore has availabilities for every part. You see, I can't build cloning pods, academy, transporters, I can't build a hangar, and I can't do armor. Now, if you go to iron has a bit more. You can actually build your inertial dampener, your gyro array, but you can't, of course, build all these other ones because it's not available. Building your craft is pretty simple. You just go, you select what block you want to use, what ore you want to use, select the block you want to use. Like, for instance, I want to increase my shielding. I can actually just go here, select the block, and if I hold shift, it's going to mirror what I have selected, and you'll see right there, it's going to add some additional shielding. Now, you want to be careful, because if you do this, you'll see it's going to start taking, it's going to give you some processing power, it's going to add some time to your hyperspace cooldown, so as you warp, it's going to add additional time to your warping, it's going to add to your required energy, it's going to add to your hull and add to your shielding. So let's go ahead and click here, and you'll see now we have a lot more shielding that we just made available to our craft, so we can take more of a beating. While you're worrying about your resources, you also have to worry about your subsystems and your crew and your craft, and we're just going to gloss over this real quickly because it's a really deep system. This is your crew. You need to make sure you have enough crew to run your ship. I have them set to auto assign. If I run into an instance where I don't have enough crew, it's going to take it from my crewmen, and they're going to go in here as untrained professionals in here, and they're just going to try to do the job as best they can, but they're not going to be as good as a well-trained individual. And when you get the academy, you can actually train people for that later. Here's your subsystems. As you expand your craft out and your processing power goes up, you will then be able to add another of these subsystems in, and that's going to increase your craft's capabilities. I have a lot of turret controls because I want weapons, and of course my radar upgrade so I can scan and see yellow blips on the map with interesting masses that it detects. Your cargo, your energy you want to pay close attention to, because when you come out of hyperspace, it's going to drain a lot of energy. So make sure you're producing enough energy to overcome that in case you warp into a bad area. You want to make sure you have enough energy being generated so that way you're not dead in the water until your hyperspace is recharged. You don't want that to happen. It's going to lead you to get killed. Torpedoes, they added to the game. I need to add my torpedoes to here, because torpedoes are going to let you go in here and cause a heck of a lot of damage. You see, these are my neutrons, so I'm just going to set this one to neutron torpedoes, and it's going to auto load. I don't have to keep dragging those over, so it's going to auto load those for me, and now I have torpedoes available that I can map out here. So let's show you that real quick. Just hover over it and press 4. Well, that's clearly not the one I had hovered over. That's supposed to be 2 for my weapon system. This is going to be 4 for my torpedoes. So the map size in this game is pretty significant. As you see here, you are in a 10 by 10 grid, which is in a 10 by 10 grid, which is in a 10 by 10 grid. So it is a huge map that they have made available here, and it is worth the while to adventure through, check out all the different nodes, and see what's going on within each one, because there are a lot of things in here. There's derelict ships that you can find. There's little mysteries behind those derelict ships at times, and other times you can find that there are leftover traveler stashes that you can go and grab all the goods from. And here with destroyed crafts, you can actually pick up cargo, so make sure you have a cargo bay. You can pick up some of their cargo that they just got blasted from them, and you can actually get this refined and sell it. So it's worthwhile. If you have a salvaging gun, you can actually come here and break their crafts down to components, to resources, and then you can actually sell that on off. So it is some things to keep in mind. There are plenty of ways to make money. I usually make it by selling asteroids back to the people. So you do have to keep in mind, you need money, you need to pay your crew, you need to have money to build your craft, because nothing is free in this game unless you happen to get lucky and find it randomly. Of course, pirates would be attacking right as I'm doing my whole thing here. Well, let's show you a little bit of the combat in the game. This is some of your PvE that you'll have available. And we're going to come in here with this. Ooh, that was a good shot. Ooh, torpedoes were a beautiful addition. Now, the reason I did that is because that's easy money in these areas here. If you come in here, there's usually these frigates that are protecting the areas. Frigates, corvettes, and if you go in, take a few pot shots, you'll get pretty good credits for that. Like that one, I got 114,000 credits for. Easy kills, easy money, worth the time. Navigation in this game is actually pretty easy. What you want to do is just make sure that you are expanding your craft, because you want to get that additional processing power so you can eventually add in some hyperspace nodes, and that's going to allow you to warp further. At first, you just have a very limited jump range, about 2 blocks. As you increase on processing power, you can actually come here to, once you get to Neonite, and you can build these hyperspace cores. This is going to allow you to increase your jump range. You can also get subsystems to increase your jump range, but this is what's going to let you get further faster. And if you don't want to take these gates, which if you look at the gates, you'll see kind of the direction they go. So I can tell you right now that there's one that goes north and there's one that goes south. So if you happen to see multiple in a close vicinity, then they usually will mark them as like west southwest, and you'll see another one up here. This one's going to be like north northwest. So just follow those directions and you'll be able to navigate pretty easily through the areas. So in order to jump, you just need to select where you want on the map, aim yourself, and then hit spacebar. So now we're here. Now let's hit P so we can check out our required energy versus our produced energy. So our required is 12.18. We're making 15.11, so we are well ahead and we are fine. The reason I say this is if you're under, then what's going to happen is your required is going to go into red. That is going to start leeching from other systems that are underneath your hyperspace, and those systems are going to start to fail. You do not want that to happen. You do not want your systems to start failing, because if you happen to warp in a place and you are now waiting for your hyperspace to recharge, you are basically a sitting duck. Do not want to be a sitting duck because you don't have enough energy to do what you need to do. So also in this game, you can have a fleet of ships. You can have not just one, you can have multiple ships to your name. Now, you can control them and tell them to do different things. You can control them via a captain that you place on their ship, and then you can just tell them what to do, or you can just tell them to escort you and follow you around, and you can fly around with your own fleet of ships. That's pretty awesome. And if you scroll all the way out here, you see I'm still scrolling. I am now in tactical mode. And this is awesome because tactical mode means you're now playing a strategy game. And this is a nice little way to play the game as well. But I really don't play it like this very much, so I'm just going to scroll back in because I like playing it like this. This is my favorite way to play. And of course, I warp right into another load of enemies because I have that type of luck today. I have the firepower advantage here, so I'm not going to really just run away this time. Good lord. Oh, ow! I think that's everyone. Holy crap, that was one heck of a battle. So that's combat in the game. Really exciting. I like it. It's so much fun. So they had my shields pretty low. I ate a lot of torpedoes, but luckily none got through my shielding. That's the benefit of Neonite. And that is also a lot of the fun that awaits you in the game. So alliances, let me jump back on topic here real quick. So there are alliances. You can actually come here to your player menu and you can check out your alliances. Your alliances are basically, your guilds. You can create your guilds. Mine's the Quantum Reavers. And I can invite people to join my alliance. You also have diplomacy. You can see here you have your different groups that you're at war with, and they really don't like me. I keep blowing them up. And then there is, I can set up my own emblem for the alliance, and basically you can manage everything through here. I have my, also just one thing you wanted to set is auto pay crews. I like to always auto pay my crews. Everything is auto pay. I don't want to have to worry about that. But yeah, your diplomacy is very key because it is going to be how you're going to get around, what areas are safe for you, and you can increase your diplomacy. You can actually come in here and pay tribute to them, and you can then work on increasing your faction with them so you can buy better and better things, which is pretty cool. There's more enemies. So in a nutshell, yes, this is what makes the game exciting. This is what makes the game fun. These are things I enjoy doing in the game. And I will sit here and pick away at these enemies for a little bit until even more of these torpedoes start to show up, and then maybe I'll have to bail out of here. We'll see. For now, I'm going to enjoy this game a bit, and hopefully this has convinced you guys that this game is worth picking up. It is definitely a lot of fun, and even with just PvE, it is a heck of a lot of fun. I would love to get a huge guild started up, so if you guys are playing and you want to enjoy some good PvE combat, taking out pirates is usually my main thing. Definitely jump in and jump into World of Kerbal. It's open, no password required. Just don't do anything stupid. Don't be offensive. It's our only rules. And hopefully catch you guys in the game. But for now, it's your boy Jatois, and I am out of here. Peace. I'm gonna go back to blowing up some pirates.